Feast Delight is made possible by IIT Travel and Tours, Clever Kids, clever, happy, fun. Texas Tamale, Foodie TV, Mary's free-range organic chicken, Kenyan custom grill, Pizzico balsamic vinegar, and Chef Revival.
Hello everyone, my name is Müge Karsley and welcome to another episode of Feast Delight. And welcome to a Turkish edition of Brunch where we're going to prepare some delicious Turkish dishes. Now who can say no to brunch? I know it's my favorite meal of all time. To me, it's the best excuse to get together with family and friends. On this episode, we're going to prepare some divine dishes to serve to our family and friends. We're going to start off by preparing some delicious crepes and an easy fruit jam as a topping. Then we're going to prepare a delicious fried eggs dish that's going to include lightly caramelized onions, green peppers, and tomatoes, all infused in olive oil. We are then going to prepare a traditional Turkish breakfast plate and finish it off with a berry mimosa. Now, how does that sound? All right, let's get started on our crepes and our fruit jam. Before I start mixing in the ingredients for my crepes, I want to get my nonstick pan nice and hot. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on, low for now. Let's set that down. This is very quick to blend. I'm going to crack open a couple of eggs. It's very simple ingredients. I'm going to add just a little bit of sugar, some vanilla, and a pinch of salt. And let's whisk that all together. Okay, I'm going to add my milk, about a cup. And I'm going to add the flour. Not too much because I want to have this as a light consistency, not as thick as a pancake batter. And just whisk it well so you don't have any of those lumps. We're big brunchers in our family. In fact, I think every other week we have a brunch. We get together with my brothers, my parents. It's either at our house or their house. We really, really enjoy it. We always get together, you know, about noontime, which is perfect on a Sunday afternoon. And we prepare these delicious foods to eat for brunch. Okay, our batter is ready. It looks like my nonstick pan is pretty warm. I'm gonna spray it generously with a cooking spray. And ladle in a spoonful. And the trick here is you take a nice full spoonful of, a ladle full of mix and pour it in gently and let it coat the bottom of the entire pan. And there we go. This takes about a minute or so on each side to cook. In the meantime, I want to get started on the strawberry jam. This is also very, very, very easy to make. I'm going to use some strawberries, sugar, and a little bit of lemon and a little bit of water. We're going to let it boil and we have a great jam. In fact, at home, what I usually do is whatever leftover sort of very ripe fruit that you might have works great as a topping. It could be apples, it could be pears, it could be apricots, whatever you have. And sometimes what you might find, you'll always have leftover a couple of strawberries, a couple of berries, a couple of blueberries. Those are great topping or fruit jam. You just mix them all together, add some sugar, and you let it cook. In about a minute or so, you'll have great topping, great jam to eat for later or right at that moment. Okay, I've got some strawberries here, some sugar. I have about a cup full of strawberries. And I'm gonna top, almost covering almost the entire cup full of strawberries with sugar. And I'm going to put approximately 2 tablespoons of water. And I'd like to put a couple of drops of lemon juice just so we can prevent the sugar from hardening later. And let me get my wooden spoon and just mix it around a little bit. And that's it, leave it. In about 5 minutes or so, you'll have strawberry jam, which is gonna serve as a great topping for our crepes. And it looks like our crepes may be ready. All right, let's try to flip this over. See, it looks wonderful. It's nice and golden brown on top. It's a perfect circle. It looks like our crepe's ready. I'm gonna remove it from the heat and put it into our plate over here so it can cool for a few minutes before we put on the topping, the fruit topping or any other topping that we wanna put on. Let me turn off the heat. And then I wanna present to you now a traditional Turkish breakfast plate. I have prepared here a traditional Turkish breakfast plate. It consists of olives, feta cheese, cheddar cheese. It could be aged Swiss, it could be Gouda, any type of cheese that you like, and tomatoes. When you have breakfast in Turkey, you will definitely, if you go to a breakfast place, you will automatically be served with a traditional Turkish plate, which will consist of these cheeses, olives, and tomatoes. And it looks like our fruit jam is ready too. So I'm gonna take this off the heat. I'm gonna let it cool for about 5 to 10 minutes before I put it in a bowl. And now we're ready to get started on our fried eggs dish. While my pan is getting nice and hot for my egg dish, I'm gonna start chopping up some of my vegetables. I'm gonna use green bell peppers, tomatoes, and onions for my egg dish. Let me start out by chopping my onions. I want to thinly slice my onions. Now, if you don't like onions, you can definitely not use onions, or if you prefer to have shallots or green onions like scallions, they work perfectly fine. All right, I'm going to pour some olive oil in the bottom of my hot pan. I think the olive oil makes this dish. And I want to start caramelizing my onions. Let's turn it down. And let's get our tomatoes and green peppers in the pan as well. You want to thinly slice your tomatoes as well. And I'm going to use about half of this bell pepper. And we're going to do the same. We're going to thinly slice that as well. And again, you can use spicy peppers, you can even use jalapenos, you can use cubanellas, whatever you like. Let me get more. I like peppers, so I like to put a lot more peppers than I do onions and tomatoes. And this is a dish where you don't even have to eat for breakfast or brunch. It serves perfectly well as a dinner plate, or you can have it for lunch. Just serve it up with a crusty sourdough, crunchy bread, so you have nice soft center to be able to dip into your olive oil infused onions and tomatoes and bell peppers. All right, I'm gonna get my vegetables in my pan so we can start sauteing them as well. I'm going to turn up the heat. Oh, listen to that sizzle, and it smells so good. Once you have caramelizing onions and you've got tomatoes and bell peppers, oh, it's heavenly. I'm going to season it with a little bit of salt and cracked black pepper. Okay, let's let these get nice and soft. And you can already see how the olive oil is infusing with the tomatoes and making it soft, and the olive oil is kind of seeping out of the tomatoes. It's going to take about a minute to soften up a little bit, and then we'll get our eggs, we'll crack them into the pan and let it all cook together. The onions are lightly caramelized, as well as the peppers and the tomatoes, and it smells absolutely delicious. I'm ready to go ahead and crack open the eggs. I'm going to do fried eggs. Again, you can do an omelet, scrambled eggs, whatever you like, but I like fried eggs because you'd like to be able to break open the yolk and dip in your bread right into it with the olive oil all infused. I'd like to give them a little bit of a separation. Smells absolutely divine. This is going to need about 5 minutes to cook. We want our yolk to be jiggly but not runny and not overcooked. And at this time I want to be able to season it just a little bit more so the eggs are seasoned, and some cracked pepper. And you can also, if you like seasoning, add red pepper flakes or paprika, whatever else that you like, you can go ahead and add on to this dish. Let's get our lid on. Okay, we're gonna let that cook for about 1 to 2 minutes, and it should be ready to serve. While my eggs are resting, I'm ready to start on our berry mimosa. For the mimosa, I'm gonna use blackberries and blueberries. I'm going to take about half a cup of each of these, put them in one bowl, and crush them with a fork just so we can get the fruit juices coming out of it. It's a very, very easy mimosa to make, and it's not your traditional mimosa with orange juice. This way it adds a little pizzazz by adding the berries in it, and it looks good. Just by crushing it a little bit, we're releasing the juices from both of the berries and creating this infusion of berry compote. Okay, I'm gonna take my pitcher and pour this composition of the berries into the pitcher. Okay, let's get this out of our way. Previously, I had prepared some simple syrup. I'm going to sweeten the berries and the juices that was released from it with the simple syrup. I'm going to add about half of, maybe like a quarter cup, not so much a half a cup, but a quarter cup into my pitcher. And then we're going to get the fun stuff out now, the champagne, to top it off. Let me set this down and I'll get my champagne. You can use any type of champagne that you like. I'm using dry champagne. Look at that. All right, once this is in, look at the beautiful color the berries have created. I'll just set my bottle down and let me give it a quick stir. There we go, and our berry mimosa is ready to be served. I prepared my mimosa in this big pitcher, but I want to transfer it onto a more fancier, cuter pitcher. Okay, and then I'm going to take a quick taste before we start plating our food. Oh good, I got some blueberry in my cup ready to go. See, that looks so much better, doesn't it? Okay, I'm gonna pour some in just so I can take a quick taste, and then we'll get started with plating our crepes and our eggs. Perfect. Perfect. Let's get started with our eggs. I'm gonna plate those first. The consistency of the yolk is absolutely perfect. It's not runny, it's not completely overdone. It's absolutely perfect to dip your bread in and crack open that nice yolk and dip it in and eat. Okay, it's my nice platter. Doesn't that look so nice and colorful right against the nice, beautiful white platter? Okay, and it smells absolutely delicious. I mean, I can't even tell you. I mean, you're gonna know once you make this dish yourself, just the infusion of the olive oil, the onions and the tomatoes, green peppers with the egg. It's heavenly. Okay. All right, our eggs are plated. Put that aside. Let's get this out of the way. Let's get started on our crepes. For my crepes, I am going to use a hazelnut spread. Now you can use sour cream, you can use cream cheese, creme fraiche, whatever you'd want, peanut butter. I am going to use my favorite hazelnut spread and kind of spread the bottom of the crepe just like so. Okay. Whatever's left over, I'll lick later. Okay, let's roll our crepes. And I'm gonna use this platter for that. We'll place one just like so. And let me do the second one real quick. Okay, you get the idea. Okay. I'm gonna roll this one up just like the other. Put it side by side, and let's get our strawberry jam and some for added indulgence and pizzazz. Let's top our hazelnut crepes with some strawberry jam that we just made. How does that look? Perfectly divine. There you have it. Didn't I tell you this was my favorite meal of all time? We prepared delicious recipes today. We prepared crepes filled with our hazelnut spread and topped it with strawberry jam. Then we prepared a traditional Turkish breakfast platter comprised of olives, feta cheese, cheddar cheese, and tomatoes. And then we finished it off with our fried eggs with vegetables that are lightly caramelized, onions, green peppers, and tomatoes, all infused in olive oil. And we prepared a delicious berry mimosa to complement our meal. And if you don't have any plans for Sunday, why don't you prepare a delicious brunch using these recipes for a big group of people that you love? I know they'll love you even more afterwards. And for more recipes just like these, please visit my website, www.feastdelight.com. Thank you for watching. I'm Müge Karsley, your host. See you next time where a delicious Turkish cuisine experience awaits.
Feast Delight is made possible by IIT Travel and Tours, Clever Kids, clever, happy, fun, Texas Tamale, Foodie TV, Mary's free-range organic chicken, Kenyan custom grill, Pizzico balsamic vinegar, and Chef Revival. Enjoy an episode of Feast Delight with Müge Karsley, a full half-an-hour show that will delight viewers for $24.95 plus shipping and handling. Offer made by Feast Delight.